2019, and this is day 42. So today was a weightlifting day. Today was squats, overhead press, and deadlift. Getting my lifts in today ended up being far more complicated than I thought it would be. On Mondays, I have a morning commitment that usually will keep me from being able to get to the gym really early in the morning, so I end up having to try to do it afterwards. So I went to the YMCA after work, and the squat rack had two guys swapping in and out, and it looked like there was another guy waiting. And so I figured, okay, well, I'll go to the work gym. I went to the work gym, and there were also two people using that power rack, and so there was no chance I was going to be able to get in. And that was around 5 o'clock, and so I had to wait. And so I came home and just waited a bit, and then went back out and got there a little after 6:30, and there was still somebody using it, but they told me that they were just about done. So I didn't even get the whole set complete until around 7:30. So it was a pretty late set. So this video is going to be incredibly late. I am recording it the day of, but it's 11 o'clock now. I need to get in bed because I have to run tomorrow morning. I wanted to be sure I got the recording in on the day of, as usual. So my squats, I'm definitely feeling like they're getting dialed in. When you watch a couple of these sets, you're going to see that I do have a little bit of a wobble still, but there are a couple of them here that are just dead on perfect. And I really do feel like I can tell when it's happening. I just think that I need to keep practicing at it, and I'm just getting better and better and better at these. When you look at this one, you can kind of see that there's still a bit of a wobble at the bottom, but you can also tell on a couple of these other ones that I've got some really good solid reps in. I'm really excited because I feel like I'm getting more good reps than I am bad reps, and it's feeling more secure just generally when I'm there in the squat rack. One thing I will say about the power rack at the work gym is that at 13, it's a little too high, but at 12, it feels just a little too low. But there is no 12 and a half, so I realized that I need to set it to 12. 13 is a little bit more comfortable, but once I have some good weight on there, it's too low, and I can't just slam it up against the uprights and bring it back down. The other thing is that this rack has got this weird little lip when you're trying to bring it down, and sometimes the barbell just gets kind of stuck there. I think you'll see that in a couple of the videos. Overhead press. Now this went a lot better. Now I'm not sure if you recall, I had to deload for the overhead press. I was at 60 and I kept going to failure, and the Strong Lifts app had me back down to 50. So I was able to do the 50 without going to failure. And then it wanted me to increment by 2-pound increments rather than by 5-pound increments. So in order to do that, I had to go out and buy myself what we call fractional plates. So these really came in handy. The ones you'll see in the video are red. Those are the 1-pounders. This is a 3/4. This one's a half, and then this one is a 1/4 pound. So they came in sets of 2. And so I'll be able to keep going up by 2s rather than having to do it by 5s. Because clearly on the overhead press, I was struggling quite a bit. Now, here you're going to see that I did some pretty solid reps here. I'm still having an occasional issue where I'm moving it out away from me and up. But I could kind of tell when that was happening, and I think I'm correcting it as I go. So here is the last set. I kind of wanted to show one bit of this these last couple of reps because it's very, very clear that I'm tired, and it's really, really hard to get this weight back up. But what excited me was that I was able to do it, and I was able to do it without a really defined arched back. I was able to keep my back neutral, keep my glutes tight, and drive that bar up. Now, one of the things I did notice is that up at the top, when I go to lockout, it's kind of wavering a little bit. Sometimes I lock out a little behind, sometimes I lock out a little bit up. So I'm going to need to work a little bit on that, but I feel like I'm making definitive progress on the overhead press. So my deadlifts, there was quite a bit of warm-up in the deadlift because I was getting up to 190 pounds. I'm going to show you the screen here real quick of the warm-up I had to do for the deadlift. So I lifted a little bit, and but I feel like I just knocked out the 190 pounds, and it was rough, those last two lifts. But it felt really good to get it knocked out. I know the camera angle here is a little bit weird, but if you look, my hips are going forward all the way up against the bar, and I feel like I'm getting a really good, solid lift there. So here's my final result on the app. Everything was a 5x5 except for the deadlifts. Deadlifts are always 1x5 in the app. But I'm pretty excited, moving forward, and on we go. And that's a wrap for today. And as always, thanks for watching.